So today we're going to be taking a look at the differences between the HDL6 and the HDL26 that just came out. So looking at them from the front, can you tell which are which? Nah, not really. Kind of. So there is a little bit of difference in the grill in the front. It does match the 30 and 50 and 28 family. You can kind of tell that it's a little bit larger of the honeycomb shape compared to the 6s itself. So it's pretty thick on the 6s. On the 26s, it's a little bit, probably the same gauge if I had to guess. So I wish it would have been a little bit thicker, but not that terrible. As far as everything else, the cabinet is identical. The plastic enclosure, the wood that's inside, the rigging, everything's the same. So if you guys are ever lucky, we can sell you the prototype HDL6 caster carts that we made when RCF didn't have the caster carts available for the 6s in the beginning. Here are the actual ones that RCF makes. So on the back of the cabinet, while we're wiring some up, you got your typical power con in and out. And on the other side, we have a little bit of a difference. You've got the Ethercon in and out, which is for the RD net. So you can see on the inside, you still have a potentiometer for gain. And then we also have a bypass button that's been added now. Still have the near and far. So XLR in, XLR out, Ethercon in, Ethercon out. That way you can link up all the cabinets. And the HDL6 rain covers fit on the 26s. Just like every other accessory, they are interchangeable. So then our 6s over here, don't have many left. We just got through selling 20 something of them. It's just gonna have just XLR in, XLR out, potentiometer, and the near far. But besides that, the rigging is identical and uses the same fly bar and the same pole mount. So we just picked up 24 of the 26s and about to get some more of those. But we'll listen to these in a minute, let you guys see. So just to give you guys an idea of what we're doing to make this comparison fair, we have it set to 1.2 for 4 to 6 cabinets. We have it set on close for the high frequency, so you can see that's pretty much flat. Just a little bit of boost on the low end. 75 as low as you can go on the high pass filter. And then on the overall gain, we have had to bump it up to 6.5 dB to make it pretty fair, but you can see everything else is flat up in the waveform. We're not using any of the FIR phasing at all, so trying to keep everything fair. And we have identical angles on both of the cabinets. That way everything should be the same and should be really close to the same height as well. So all the cabinets on the HDL6s, which are going to be over here, are pretty much set at the gain that we usually run them at, and then the high frequency boost is not on a single cabinet. And we just showed you on the RD net what we're doing here. Use one of the songs that we usually test these speakers on. We're going to start out with the HDL6s over on this side. with a different song with a little bit more rock stuff going on. We're going to start out with HDL 6s and let you guys take a listen. So this time we'll be using the Wildwood Ruminators live version of Merle Haggard's song that we did. We're going to be starting with the HDL 6s.
Today I started loving you again. I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you long enough to let my heart ache. Started loving you again. What a fool I was to think I could get by with only these few million tears I've cried. I should have known the worst was yet to come, and that crying time for me had just begun. 'Cause today I started loving you. I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you long enough, oh, to let my heart amen. Today I started loving you again. It's you again. It's you again. Loving you again.
So just to show you guys full disclosure what we're having to do inside of this gymnasium, which is absolutely terrible. So we are going pretty far up there with the high pass filter, and then we're having to do some significant cuts, about 180 and 350. So we're using a Shure KSM9 microphone, and we're just basically gonna be panning back and forth between the HDL6 and the 26. But to show you what we're dealing with, no acoustical treatment and pretty large room in here. So just going for which cabinet's really gonna be shooting the furthest with the most clarity, I guess. We'll let Josh go.
Welcome to the Florence Coliseum. We're starting out with the HDL6s, and we are testing them with a Shure KSM9 with Sweet Tree Productions. We've now switched to the HDL26s on my left. There's some great cabinets. Testing the KSM9 with Sweet Tree Productions. We're now back to the HDL6s on my right. They are to your left. Some great cabinets here at the Florence Coliseum. Back to the HDL26s at the Florence Coliseum with Sweet Tree Productions. There's some bleachers in front of me, as well as a basketball court. Again, there are some bleachers in front of me, and there is a basketball court. Here at the Florence Coliseum, we're back now to the HDL26s. There are some chairs stacked up around me. You can not see them in the video, but they are there.
So the takeaway from today, we had the HDL6s versus the 26s. And it's kind of like whenever we first got the 30s, there was definitely a huge difference in vocal clarity between the 30s and the 20s. Mainly because of the FIR filter in that case. Both of these do have FIR. So kind of a hard call right out of the box. It's honestly one of those where the HDL6 sounds more musical, in my opinion, than the HDL26 does. But that's because it's basically designed to be a box that you just basically take out of the box and you're able to use it without doing a lot of EQing. You have a lot more control on the HDL26, being able to use RDNet and independently change a lot of stuff. You can shade down the bottom cabinets if you're doing a lot of cabinets to where the FIR filter's using it. We'll get rid of some of that harsh high frequency while keeping the entire cabinet in phase linearity, which is really nice. Cannot do that with HDL6s. Basically all you can do is shade with volume on the HDL6s. With the 26s, if you have them up in the air, you can use the RDNet and take the top boxes and boost them up if you needed to use more of that for the balcony. For us, it's a no-brainer to go with the 26s just because of all the multi-function uses we can get out of them as front fills or as mains. And having that RDNet is going to make it to where we can just really dial in and aim the sound where it needs to be. So if you don't really need the RDNet function, the extra power makes a little bit of difference as far as main output. In this particular firmware update right now that we're in, it wasn't a huge volume difference that we could tell. And in fact, we had to gain up the 26s to match what the 6s were doing out just from the box. So pretty impressed with the 26s. It wasn't like a night and day difference by any means at all, but it's definitely gonna be a night and day difference from control aspect of it whenever we have to change things without taking down the entire stack, especially if we're flying from a ceiling with motors, not having to come down just to change a gain or high frequency boost. So those are the big difference between them. Already showed you guys in the front video, there's a little bit of a difference in the grill and some other things, but Josh is going to tell you about the rear ejection that he heard since he was on stage, what the differences were.
The 26s did have a little bit more rear rejection, and it might just be because of the more low end produced by the HDL6s, just in what we've experienced here. But in my experience on stage with the KSM9, it was a little bit more rear rejection with the HDL26s.
And it's a hard decision. You're looking at almost double the money to be able to get the 26s, but they have got whatever that design is that they've done with the 6s themselves. I forgot what they called it, but it's basically kind of like their waveguide system for the horns, but it's a baffle looking type apparatus in the front with the 6s. And it ends up really making the low tone a little bit more defined. For some reason, when you're using RDNet right now, it's 75 as low as it'll go. And you can hear that the 6s will definitely go a lot lower than that, but every application we will ever use these, we're going to have subs. So we're going to be crossing over at 90 to 100 and something hertz. So going down to 75 isn't a problem at all with us. But definitely happy with them. For the weight ratio, there's not any cabinet out there that I'm aware of that can do what either one of these cabinets will do. So if you ever need any help, let us know. And if you ever want to make a purchase, let us know and we'll get you a great deal. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe.